Hi, Jane here. This week I'd like to talk to you about the good old-fashioned art of writing letters. Is it a lost cause or is it simply treasure overlooked? Let's look at it for a little bit. Now, in today's world, you ask some people about letter writing and some are just going to just slam dunk, no, I don't write letters, no, it's over. There are others that I know people who will only live by snail mail and their house phone. Somewhere in between, you find the rest of us. And I have learned to be on the techie side also. I send text messages, I message, I Facebook post, I do all kinds of electronic ways of sharing information. But also, I do write letters, and I think that there's a great value in doing so, actually. It bothers me to see, I saw a Facebook list not too long ago about, it was basically saying these are some of the things that have just disappeared. And they ranked letter writing right up there with 8-track tapes and phone booths. That was a little disturbing to me because I do think that there's still great value in writing letters. It bothers me to hear conversations about cursive writing no longer being taught in the schools, and that therefore sooner or later that's going to become the mystery language. If you know how to write that, it will be the code language. And that's disturbing to me. I'll just be honest. Other things, writing by hand is just passe. Everybody's just doing the tech thing now, and texting and what have you. That's just a little distressing to me. And the concept of writing letters being just an antiquated, useless thing to just throw away. I'll be honest, that's distressing to me at some level. I go back to when I was a kid is when it started, and I had two cousins that lived in a town just an hour away from the town that I lived in, and our two families were together a lot. We saw each other many weekends growing up. We were more like brothers and sisters, the three of us, than cousins. And the one cousin is just almost not quite a year younger than me, and we were very close. And somewhere in there, even though we saw each other all the time, we just decided that we needed to start writing letters to each other. We were in school, and so I can remember looking forward to going out to the mailbox at the curb and pulling out a letter from my cousin Mark, and it would just be filled with what was going on in his week. And he was, I think, the president of his Spanish club, and he had some funny little thing that happened, and we would just share things like that back and forth. And I so wish that I still had those letters because they were just so special. And through the years, I've been around for quite a while, and through so many moves and everything, those letters I let them slip away from me, sadly. But they meant something. They held memories, and even though the paper and the envelopes are gone now, I could sit here when I was pulling all of this together. I just began to be flooded with memories of those letters and little things that he had shared. Those are as alive in me now as they were the day I pulled them out of that mailbox. They're just exciting, and they do become little mementos that really mean something to you as you go along. I believe writing letters connects us in a unique way. It's an art form. Writing like that is an art form. When you take a pen in hand or some writing instrument and apply it to paper and let your heart flow out in that connection, there's so much more of you that is transmitted than just information. Now, texting and even emails and things like that, they're great for passing along information and all kinds of things, and they definitely have their place. I'm not we're a paper only kind of person at all. But at the same time, when you share through a written letter like that, some of your personal space, if you will, transfers with that, with the words on the page. uh, it becomes apparent to the reader what you're really feeling. You can see things about you in the paper, in the writing style, in your words that do not, they are completely erased with our technology. That's why you can text something and you can really tick somebody off, or they can misinterpret what you're saying, and all of a sudden there's this thing going on that it's just so easy to miscommunicate through the electronic means. Whereas a letter, you see the pressure of their pen, you see the form of their words, you get a good feeling for what they're experiencing, what they're saying, where they are in it. And that to me becomes invaluable. It becomes precious just to know that, just to connect with someone like that. Whether it's something that you're sharing of a mundane and earthy nature, or something that's wild and transcendent in your letter, that letter it carries the capacity to just become an heirloom of incomparable worth. And I think that thought alone is well worth thinking about this. Now, I have a memory box, and I think everybody should have a memory box, and there's links in my blog post about where you can go online to learn about that a little bit. But mine's just a white box with a nice gold lid. Can't even remember where it came from, but it's a pretty box. And it's filled with memorabilia of all kinds. Theater stubs from when I lived in the LA area and saw the Phantom of the Opera. It was magnificent. It's got airline ticket stubs and boarding passes from various places that I went when I traveled in my business. It's got all kinds of stuff in it, just little notes and tidbits, little cards that come on a bouquet of flowers from the florist shop, all that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of things that hold meaning to us. Within that box, I have a stack of letters that are from my aunt. Now, she was just a delightful woman, and those letters, they're just filled with things that were important in her day, that day that she wrote, and she shared newspaper clippings of things that she knew I was interested in. Those are so precious to me now. I have another stack of letters, same kind of thing, from my mother. They're both living in heaven now, but I can open that memory box and look at those, and it's just so special to just hold those papers and read those words and see their handwriting, and it just brings back all the memories and all of the feelings, and it's like they're just become these little tiny time capsules for you. It's a very, very rewarding experience to participate in. I don't like to get into the squabble of writing letters versus technology. My take on it is I'm in the middle of the road with it. I see the value of both. Yes, technology, there is nothing faster than just whipping out my phone and texting a quick message or messaging somebody or, contacting on Facebook. That is fast and it does its job and it's super. But at the same time, when it comes to sharing my heart, deeper thoughts, your soul with someone, emoticons just don't do it for me. You can put as many little hearts after your message as you want. You can put all kinds of little smiley faces, and they have some expressions on those faces that I don't even use because I'm not sure what they're even trying to express, so that just doesn't cut it for me. I really want to truly connect with someone and communicate with them at a heart level, and I choose to do that through a letter. There are advantages to writing letters. Obviously, I think there's more. We think about what we're writing more than you do with just blowing out a text or a message. They're much more relational and connecting with the reader. There's an element of permanence to them. You can save them. I'm all the time clearing out messages from my phone, from my email. You know, they come and they go, delete, 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 because you get overwhelmed. But a letter, I'm real prone to save those, especially if they have some meaning to me. Um, they create an expressive, they have a very expressive quality to them just by the nature of them, because they are handwritten. They're more personal. They've written your name on it. They've addressed it to your home. Uh, a letter brings a sense of excitement and adventure when it comes. I can remember anytime I've gotten a letter from anyone that I love, you know, it's like, oh, I got a letter, you know, and you're opening it on your way into the house from the post office, you know, it's just fun. And writing letters does create a keepsake. It, like I said, it does create a tiny time capsule of memory that as you move along through your life and life happens, people come and go. Those little time capsules become more and more precious and valuable to you. So don't scream at me. Don't go away. Uh, I get the whole electronic thing, and I participate, and I will email with you, and I text, I do all of that, and it really is fast, and it definitely has its place. But there is an element of privacy in writing letters that's definitely missed in the electronic media. Uh, I think by slowing things down a little bit, by taking the time to share words from your heart in the form of a letter, it takes you to a different realm of relationship with someone. It's it can become dear, it can become precious and of great value to you as you go along. So, I have a writing challenge for you. For the rest of this month, I want you to think about writing a letter to one or two people. Write a couple of letters. Write a letter. I want you to think of someone that you would enjoy connecting with at a little deeper level like this. Whoever that might be in your life, a relative, a friend, neighbor, whatever, someone that's moved away, whoever that person is in your life. Think about who that is, and I want you to get some paper and pen. You can go get some special paper, a special pen, your favorite pen. Have fun with it. You can do whatever you want, but have some fun with it. Then I want you to find a place and a time where you can just sit down and not be distracted and think about that person before you start to write. Just think about them for a little bit. Let them come up in your mind, see them doing things, and just enjoy that in your mind a little bit and bring them up in front of you. Then sit there and begin to write your letter and just share your heart. Share something that's going on. You know, whatever is of interest to you that you know will be interesting to them. That's the whole purpose of this. You want to share something interesting from your life. Tell them what you're doing, that you're doing a little experiment with letter writing, and invite them to respond to you, and see if you can get someone to begin writing back and forth with you. It's such a fun thing to do. All you have to do once you get it written is just fold it up, put it in an envelope, address it, put a stamp on it, and either put it in your mailbox with the flag up or drop it in a box, and you're good. And see what happens. It's fun to experience this, and it's something that no, not everyone is doing it anymore, but I think it's well worth the effort that it takes to do it, and you begin to develop something that you will really appreciate as you move along through your life. If you're interested in creating a memory box, if you check out my blog post on this, I've got a link in there for you to find some great ideas on how to do that, to build something special for yourself. I also, in my blog post, there is the format for how to write what a personal letter, a friendly letter would look like. And so you can click on that link in my blog post and go check out that page. It's real simple, and there's really not particularly any right or wrong to it, but it just gives you something to go by if you want it. I put that in there for you. In the conclusion of all of this, I hope that you are one who will join with me in trying to keep letter writing from just going off the cliff and never being heard from again. Uh, Please don't overlook the hidden treasure in this. It's simple writing, it's not difficult. You're just sharing from your heart. But just doing that in the form of a letter will pull more up out of you than an electronic gadget, and it creates that keepsake that you will find invaluable over time. I hope you've enjoyed this. I have. I enjoy meeting with you every week. I look forward to next time. In the meantime, for somebody out there, it's time for you to start writing your book. So contact me and let's find out how I can help you do that. In the meantime, have a great week. Thank you, and God bless.